When we think about accounting, we usually think about profit and loss, right? The language of business. But what if it could be about more than that? What if the numbers on a balance sheet could show a company's moral compass, its social purpose? Well, that's the whole idea behind Sharia accounting. And using the book Akuntansi Syariah di Indonesia as our guide, we're going to dive into this totally different way of looking at the numbers that run our world.
So let's kick things off with a pretty fundamental question. We're all told that the goal of business is to make a profit. But is that really the only goal? What if accounting could serve a purpose that's, a little higher than just the bottom line? And that question, that's what really cracks open the door to understanding Sharia accounting.
To get our heads around that, we've got to look way beyond the ledgers and balance sheets. We have to start with the core philosophy. See, Sharia accounting comes from a worldview where Islam isn't just a religion for certain times and places. It's a complete guide for every single part of life. And that absolutely includes how we do business. And this guidance system is built on 3 pillars that flow right into each other. It all starts with Aqidah, which is faith, the core belief in God. That belief then becomes the foundation for Sharia, the set of divine laws for how to live your life. And finally, you put that whole framework into action through akhlaq, which is all about your ethical conduct. You can see how one builds right on top of the other. And for what we're talking about today, that middle pillar, Sharia, is the key to everything. All right, so if Sharia is our key, let's see how it actually works as a roadmap. It's the set of rules that translates that core faith into day-to-day action, and it covers everything from prayer to, what we're focused on, economic transactions. The book we're looking at defines Sharia as the rules set by God for people to follow in, all of life's activities. It's not just a big list of don'ts. It's a whole framework for building a society that's just and fair. And since business and finance are such a huge part of any society, they fall right under this framework. And that is exactly why you need a special kind of accounting to go with it. Okay, so we've got the foundation of faith and law. Now we can finally get to the main event. What exactly is Sharia accounting when you put it into practice? So here it is, the core definition. Sharia accounting is the process for transactions that are compliant with Sharia. Now, the mechanics, your debits and your credits, they might look pretty familiar, but the filter, the first step, is completely different. A transaction doesn't even get recorded unless it first aligns with Islamic principles. And this table, wow, this is where it all just clicks into place. Look at the philosophy. Conventional accounting is based on secular rationalism. Sharia accounting starts with tawheed, the oneness of God. That one change flips everything else. The basis for action goes from modern business law to a religious framework. And this is so important. The core concept isn't just profit. It's pertanggung a deep, profound accountability. And that's why the scope has to expand beyond just economics, to include the social side of things too. So when you change the whole philosophy, of course what you get at the end is going to be different, right? The conventional financial reports we all know, income statements, balance sheets, they are laser-focused on just one thing, measuring economic performance. They tell you if the company is making money and if it's stable, period. Sharia accounting, though, adds this whole other critical layer, since its scope is both economic and social. Its reports have to show that. So right alongside the standard financial reports, you're going to find statements that track the company's social functions, like how it collects and distributes zakat, which is a kind of mandatory charity. It makes sure the business is being transparent about its duties not just to its shareholders, but to the whole community. And that right there, that brings us to the real heart of it all, the big why behind this entire system. It all boils down to a totally different idea of what the purpose of business is in the first place. This quote just says it all. The central goal isn't maximizing profit, it's accountability. And we're not just talking about accountability to investors. This is a holistic responsibility. To your employees, to your customers, to society, to the environment, and ultimately to God. From this perspective, the numbers on a report have to reflect more than just wealth. They have to reflect justice, fairness, and truth. So to tie this all together, why does this really matter in the real world? Well, first, for anyone who wants to run their business according to Sharia, it's a religious requirement. Second, Islamic finance is a massive trillion-dollar global industry, so there's a huge practical need for it. It gives us the tools to make sure transactions are free from things like interest and crazy uncertainty. And it builds a framework of accountability that's designed to serve everyone involved, not just the people at the top. And that leaves us with one final, pretty powerful question. We always call accounting the language of business. Okay, so what story is our language telling? Is it only telling a story of profit and loss? Or can it, and maybe should it, tell a much richer story about purpose, about justice, and about our responsibility to each other?